Max Verstappen has been dubbed by many to be one of, if not the, fastest drivers in Formula One. While there are many debates by drivers, team principals, and fans alike about his driving style, one can't deny his skills and passion for racing. His track record speaks for itself. Before we get into the details, be sure to like and subscribe, especially if you love F1 as much as we do. The Dutch driver became the youngest driver to ever start a Grand Prix when he raced at the 2015 Australian Grand Prix at 17 years and 166 days old when he raced for Toro Rosso. He's also the youngest to score points, get a podium, and win a race. His list of achievements only got longer and longer as the years passed, and culminated when he was crowned the 2021 World Drivers' Champion. In this nail-biter of a season, Verstappen was hailed the top of the pack, albeit with controversy due to the decisions of the former race director Michael Masi in the final race of the season held in Abu Dhabi. No matter what people's thoughts are regarding his win, the fact that he has to defend his title in the 2022 season won't change. Unfortunately, it seems like the odds aren't in his favour yet. His Formula One career has been riddled with forced retirement right from the start, such as his very first race. Be it due to engine failures or collisions, Verstappen has had his fair share of DNFs. However, now that he's world champion, he and his team Red Bull Racing can't afford to have him retire from races. That is, if he wants to defend his title and extend his use of the number one for more than one season. While pre-season testing has had promising results from both Red Bull drivers, the Bahrain Grand Prix showed a different story. For most of the race, the reigning world champion trailed behind Ferrari's Charles Leclerc, giving everyone exciting wheel-to-wheel battles. However, a slew of car issues, tyre degradation, steering issues and problems with the fuel pump forced him back to the garage with only 3 laps left. Unfortunately for Red Bull, Sergio Perez also had to retire at the final lap due to a fuel issue. As a result, Ferrari celebrated a 1-2 win, with Charles Leclerc as first and Carlos Sainz Jr. in P2. Rounding out the podium is Mercedes' Lewis Hamilton, who also had a lot of issues with his car. The first race of the 2022 season saw Red Bull racing without points. It was a big blow to the British team, but especially to Verstappen, who has a title to protect. In a statement, the team stated that the main reason for the car's retirement in Bahrain was a lack of fuel pressure. They added, the correct amount of fuel was in both cars, but a vacuum prevented the pumps from drawing fuel and delivering it to the engine. In the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, the gods of fortune smiled upon the Red Bulls when Perez started on pole and Verstappen qualified 4th. The Dutch driver won the race, and his teammate placed 4th. This gave the reigning champion the much-needed points to climb up the 2022 standings. Even if the double points and Verstappen's win were a cause of celebration, team principal Christian Horner was still worried about the car's engines, and they were still looking to fix the issues before the Australian Grand Prix. As it turns out, Horner was right to be worried. April 10th found Albert Park sunny and full of fans excited for 2 hours of racing. Leclerc, once again, led the race with a comfortable gap. For the first 38 laps of the race, Verstappen was second, but was 10 seconds behind Leclerc. Due to tyre management struggles, he didn't have the pace to close the gap and overtake. To add insult to injury, his RB18 suddenly slowed, then stopped at the start of lap 39. He also reported smelling a strange fluid. That was the end of the reigning champion's race in Australia. On the other hand, his teammate, Sergio Perez, placed second, bringing much-needed points for the team. After the third race of the season, Verstappen is already 46 points behind early championship contender Leclerc, who has already racked up 71 points. He currently places 6th in the Drivers' Championship, below his teammate Sergio Perez, who's in 4th place, and Lewis Hamilton in 5th. A far cry from his last year, when he constantly placed 1st or 2nd. Verstappen is understandably frustrated and finds the constant retirements unacceptable. He also said that he found last Sunday's race terrible and that he just had no pace. We are already so far down in the championship that from now onwards, basically, you first need to be faster than them, Ferrari, which we're not, and 0 problems with the car, which we also don't have, said Verstappen. The reigning champion adds that catching up to the prancing horses is going to be a big task. In an interview with Sky Sports, Verstappen said that he doesn't even want to think about the championship fight at the moment, because Red Bull is already miles behind. These sorts of things, if you want to fight for the title, cannot happen, he added. While there are still more races ahead, it might be difficult for Verstappen to bounce back if the RB18's unreliability streak continues. For him to add another championship to his list, he would need to do something record-breaking once again. It would need him to do something bigger than Sebastian Vettel's comeback in 2012. It's either that, or Charles Leclerc having unexpected retirements in the subsequent races. Christian Horner, on the other hand, is what one might call reluctantly optimistic, saying that they're only just over 10% of the way into the championship, so there's still a long way to go. Another consolation for the team principal is that they have the basis of a quick car. He also would rather have a fast car than make a slow and reliable one fast. A jab at the relatively slower Mercedes? He also believes Verstappen and the team as a whole can bounce back from the Australian DNF and come back stronger in Imola. He's obviously frustrated when he initially got out the car, but he knows we're all in it together as a team, Horner said. Ferrari is in the top spot in the constructors' standings, followed by Mercedes and Red Bull. Aside from making Verstappen's title defense difficult, the car's reliability issues also cost the team's chances at the Constructors' Championship. Believed to be an answer to Horner's quip, Mercedes' George Russell said, "It doesn't matter how fast your car is if you don't make it to the end." Russell clinched P3 after Verstappen's DNF. This classic back and forth between Red Bull and Mercedes raised the question of which to prioritise, speed or reliability. Of course, the easy answer is finding the perfect balance of both, proven by Ferrari's performance so far. But there are times that it can be hard to do, which is evident in both Red Bull's and Mercedes' performances, regarding reliability and speed respectively. We would just have to see which team fixes their issues first and have a proper fight with Ferrari in their home race at Imola. Do you think we'll see Verstappen back at the top and be able to properly defend his title in Imola? Or will he have to suffer more retirements as the season progresses? Let us know in the comments. Bye bye.